Anyways, guys, what's up? Welcome to Roll with the Fox. I don't even know what episode this is going to be because I have to pre-record. So this is pre-recorded. I'm traveling a lot in the summer, doing a lot of camps. I try to do live as much as possible, but I try to keep in mind, we could always have somebody film and kind of, I can have ukes and probably access to space, although sometimes when I'm doing the camps, I cannot have access to the space because we're actually doing the camp at that time. The biggest thing is acoustics. I learned that in Pittsburgh. I'm traveling, and we're filming in a. I look at it's sort of former warehouse, very high ceilings, and as soon as I walk in, I'm like, I know acoustics is not going to be good. And very good uke, Warren Stout, who's a very very good black belt under Henzo and Sean Williams. And so I start the episode, hey guys, if acoustics is important, if audio is important to you, don't even watch because I know it's going to be bad. And of course, one of the comments, Fox, the acoustics sucks. No kidding. So I try to, if I'm not sure about the acoustics, I try to pre-record. So this is one of those episodes. So today I thought, guys, maybe I'm going to do escapes from bad positions, meaning bottom side control, bottom out. So Kevin's going to just do things, but we're going to do an interesting sort of take on this. Well, I think it's interesting. We're going to do it from transition escape and then from a static position. The transition escapes are much more easy. And that should tell you that when you're about to get in a bad position, start your escape early, meaning before the guy settles in. So hopefully at the end of this, it will bear out. So I have, so that's point number one that I'm making. But also point number two, guys, if there's any specific situations that you wanted a deeper breakdown on, just let me know, okay? So, Kevin, you just do your thing. So we do static, and then we're gonna do first we do dynamic, meaning that from a transition I already start escaping, and then the other one is gonna be static. All right, well, let's go. You can see I'm already out here. Right now it depends what Kevin does. A lot of times he knows that this is. So I'm just gonna, and this is it. So that underhook is very, very, especially, I look for that underhook off an E-cup pass. I look for that underhook from sort of, a leg pummeling. It's very, very powerful because a lot of times the guy has to either back off, in which case you regard, or he's gonna basically try to force it and you just get to your knees and wrestle up. Now let's look at it from, this is going to be a lot harder. Go. Yeah. That underhook is much harder to come by. Guys, pay attention what I'm doing, how I'm creating the underhook. This underhook is weak because if Kevin brings that, now he's controlling my position. Okay? Go back. So anytime I get an underhook, it's almost like I'm protecting that arm because it can be vulnerable. So I'm protecting that arm with my torso and my legs. So now I can do whatever I did before, but it's a lot harder from that position. All right? So now just give me a different guard pass, and then we're going to go bottom side control on the other side.
Okay.
All right? So...
This side, right?
Yep, this is my weak side, guys. So what I started to do before he settled in. So again, notice that I'm going straight into, almost bypassing the defensive aspect. Once I can get decent grips, meaning in this case it was on his head, and then I go to uregatame grip, I'm going straight into offensive mode. Now let's look at the same guard pass when you let him settle in. That's okay. You could eat a lot. So now he's got an underhook. So now I have to get my grips. Don't let me do it. Yeah. Okay. Oh, that was not bad. But again, it's more difficult. Yeah. So there's a couple points I want to make. It is easier off the transition because the guy's not heavy, he's not settled in on you. You don't have, and the most important aspect of it is you don't have to create motion to create the openings. So motion creates the openings. If you do that in transition, he's in motion, so the openings are there. You just need to exploit them. That's point number one. Point number two is as soon as I get my grips, I go into an offensive mode immediately. First, make sure you escape the position. Don't try to hit him with something when you're still in a prone position. Those are called tricks. But once you go into an offensive mode immediately, because now it's hard for him to go after you when he's running. That is a very important aspect. Earlier, you're lifting your finger. It looks like you might have a question. Do we have a question from the audience, even though it's pre-recorded? Hello, Fox. I have a question for you.
Well, question. I will give you a question actually. If they are grabbing both of your legs, you know those low passes where they're controlling both your knees,
Yeah.
and they're really heavy ahead on your hips.
Oh, yeah,
hard
yeah.
for you to shrimp out.
Oh, it's like a bullfight. Yeah,
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
that's a good. Oh, well, that's a different one too.
You made a little mess.
So yeah, so Aliyah's question is this. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do it off a transition. So as soon as this is the scenario. We're gonna do it from there after, but first as you going in. So as you know, you made a mistake. You brought your legs close. I'm already pushing his head, and now I'm already. You could see how easily I escape. Now I'm gonna actually just let him hold the legs. Yeah, and now what I usually do, go ahead. Yeah, it's a lot more movement. Now, we're just kind of not going super hard, but if Kevin was going harder, it would be a lot more effort, a lot more energy spent. So, the guys, a lot of times the biggest mistakes they make is they're getting a bad position. They wind up managing to escape it after great effort. And then they kind of like have this sigh of relief. Oh, thank you, I'm free and I'm safe now. And then the guy does it again. Guess what? How many times can you do this? And then you start to get gassed. You cannot do this. So anytime you basically escape from a bad position and get yourself in skip that decent neutral position, go straight into offensive mode. Because that is the best way to keep him off you, the best way to kind of keep him from attacking you because he's running. Now let's do another one. And this one is very common, sort of the bullfight. It could be with the legs or with non-legs. I'm going to do the same thing. By the way, guys, if we don't get to it on, because I think we might be running out of time. If we don't get to it on YouTube, we're going to get to it on the app, and that is from Mounted. Same thing, same concept. But again, I want to go with this one where the guy kind of just throws the legs to the side. Go. I basically didn't even let him. As soon as I go with it, okay? Now, this time he throws the legs to the side and drops it. Yeah, now go. Just, yeah. Why are you letting me get that leg so easily? Am I that good?
No, you can say.
Guys, notice what I'm doing. Just pivot to this way, the other way. Notice how when my leg, he has an underhook, right? So that could be dangerous, but look what I'm doing with my leg. This is a very strong protection for me. It's going to be hard for him to do anything because go ahead, you try. Okay? But it's much, much harder for me, again, to escape, although Kevin's let me get that near side go. Guys, this is another point. We talked about this in one of the previous live episodes. When I'm top side control, I'm not a fan of the top side control that Kevin's using. This is why. It's not that difficult to get rid of. I told you it's the modified one where if I'm on his right side, my right hand, right arm is going to control his right leg. That, I believe, is way harder to get rid of than the traditional top side control. But nevertheless, it is still more difficult for me to escape when the position is static versus when it's I forgot what the word is. In transition, dynamic. Guys, we're out of time again. Keep the questions coming because it helps me formulate the breakdowns for the next episodes. If you know a lot of the questions, guys, you have, you may feel bad about. I found that out is in camps and seminars. A lot of times, guys ask me as we're driving in a car, like, Fox, I have a question. I'm like, why didn't you ask? Oh, I felt bad. Well, now you're not going to get the same answer because now you know I can explain it to you, but you're not going to see me do it and actually potentially feel it. So start asking questions, and I will see you next week.